the next speaker can start sharing the screen. Okay, very good. Very good.
It is.
Perfect. Okay, you can switch to full screen.
It is.
Okay, perfect. So we are on time. So the third speaker of this session will present a paper, 3D reconstruction of historical sites using an UAV. The authors are Pedro Silva, Andre Diaz, Ana Pires, Tiago Santos, Alexander Amaral, Paulo Rodriguez, José Almeida, and Eduardo Silva. And it will be presented by Pedro Silva. Please.
So first, good morning to all. I'm Pedro Silva, researcher at Tinestec from Portugal, and I'm going to present our paper called 3D Reconstruction of Historical Sites using NWIBI. So during this presentation, I'm going to talk about the motivation, the problem formulation, what is the Mine Heritage Project. I will present the proposed methodology and some results, and in the final, the conclusion and the future work. So in recent years, the documentation of heritage sites has gained considerable importance, especially sites threatened by a set of unpredictable factors such as war, natural disasters, climate change, vandalism, and aging. Besides, 3D reconstruction of historical sites has become increasingly fundamental and necessary due to various reasons such as preservation, reconstruction, and as-built documentation. So how can we perform 3D reconstruction with NWIBI? So the two main approaches are the usage of LiDAR sensor and photogrammetry. So LiDAR provides a 3D point cloud based on the distances measured by the light beams. Its main advantages are the high precision and the invariance to the lighting conditions. However, they do not provide color and texture of the environment. On the other hand, photogrammetry generates a 3D color point cloud by using structure for motion technique, but it requires specific weather conditions. It cannot penetrate a tree's canopy or map complex structures such as power lines, and it takes a lot of time to process the data. Therefore, combining the functionalities of LiDAR with the vision system will allow the production of an accurate 3D color point cloud. So this research was developed within the scope of the Mine Heritage Project. This project is funded by the European Institute of Innovation and Technology, AT Raw Materials, and it intends to use cultural heritage, mining, and raw materials to create popular educational tools for the dissemination of raw materials importance to society through historic periods. So in terms of the proposed methodology in this figure, it is illustrated the high-level software architecture to perform 3D reconstruction combining a 3D LiDAR and a visible spectrum camera. This pipeline is divided into layers. So we have the offline and the real-time. So the offline layer comprises the extrinsic calibration process between the 3D LiDAR and the camera. The second one is composed by several stages, as you can see in the image. So the color association process is done given the LiDAR point cloud, the image, and the extrinsic parameters between the LiDAR and the camera. The output is a color point cloud. So the WIBI pose is estimated from a real-time kinematic global navigation satellite system receiver and from an inertial measurement unit. The robot pose will allow, together with the color point cloud and the LiDAR pose with respect to the WIBI, to perform 3D reconstruction of the environment that WIBI has mapped. So the problem of extrinsic calibration of a LiDAR and a camera is to estimate the rotation and the relative translation between the two sensors. The implemented method uses plane and line correspondences of a calibration target, in this case a checkerboard, to obtain the extrinsic parameters. So the target plane and its 4 lines are exploited to estimate the rotation and the translation. So the algorithm is summed up on the bottom figure. So the input is the end target poses, and the output is obviously the extrinsic parameters. So the first step is to detect the checkerboard and its 4 lines on the image plane. Then it is calculated its plane and line parameters in camera frame. For LiDAR, it is necessary to specify an approximated position of the target. Then it is detected and calculated its plane and line parameters in LiDAR frame. So after having the plane and line parameters in both frames, it is done an initial estimation of the extrinsic parameters. The final step is the optimization of these initial parameters. So the color of each point can be determined from a single observation that is based on the closest frame between the two sensors. It is really important that both sensors are synchronized. This is same trigger and or same clock source. After calibrating the extrinsic parameters, it is possible to transform LiDAR point cloud to the camera frame. These points are then projected to the image plane by the camera intrinsic matrix. Generally, a 3D LiDAR has a much more larger field of view than a perspective projection camera, and the points outside camera field of view should be removed. So the color of each 3D LiDAR point is given by the RGB value of each pixel. So to perform 3D reconstruction with centimeter accuracy, it is necessary to use RTK technique. So the WeB position and orientation are estimated from a dual band global navigation satellite system receiver and from an IMU, resulting in a pose with high precision, so centimeter accuracy. The WeB localization will make possible to join the various point clouds, the various LiDAR scans into a unique point cloud. The output is a georeferenced 3D color point cloud of the environment that has been mapped. In terms of experimental setup, Stork is an autonomous WeB developed by Inestec, and its primary application is the power asset inspection. However, it has been used in other application scenarios such as search and rescue operations, 3D mapping, and so on. In terms of sensors, this WeB has several sensors integrated, namely perception and navigation. For navigation, it has a high precision IMU and a dual band global navigation system receiver, alongside, of course, the low-cost sensors of autopilot. For environmental perception, it has a 3D LiDAR and 2 visible spectrum cameras. So on the right bottom figure, it is illustrated the 3D LiDAR and the camera used in the experiment scope in the Stork WeB. In terms of datasets, the datasets were performed in the stairway and the enclosure area of the Monastery of Tibange, Braga, Norway of Portugal, one of the study sites within the scope of the Mine Heritage Project. This monastery was founded in the late 11th century and was the mother house of the Order of Saint Benedict for Portugal. Despite the degradation over the last few decades, the Portuguese government acquired it and began its heritage protection to the current day. So in terms of 3D results, so in the top figures we have the enclosure area, a water tank that was empty at the time of the mapping. This water tank is located in the enclosure area. On the top right, we have a bottom view of the stairway, and on the bottom we have the full 3D color point cloud of the Monastery of Tibange. So here, just a small video. So here it is represented the 3D color point cloud of the Monastery of Tibange, combining a 3D LiDAR and a visible spectrum camera. We can see the stairway and the enclosure area. it is possible to verify a color difference in the vegetation zone. This difference is obtained because the camera used is sensitive to infrared, and to solve this problem, it is necessary to add infrared radiation bandpass filter. We already have done that, but due to COVID, we couldn't get more results. So we are seeing now the stairway. So the stairway is composed by several water sources that are interspersed with the stairs, landings, and some trees. So in terms of conclusions, so we present a 3D reconstruction methodology combining a 3D LiDAR and a visible spectrum camera. We validate the developed approach into datasets in the monastery of Tibange. The color association process has a strong quality, comparing the color point clouds with the original images, and the 3D reconstruction has been successfully achieved. In terms of future work, it is important to integrate all the information provided by multiple cameras. This will certainly allow to address other application scenarios, such as inspection of power lines and gas pipelines. Finally, the development of an algorithm to improve the automatic point cloud alignment based on feature extracted from the LiDAR data will also be a line of research. So thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much for your very interesting presentation. So I ask to the audience if are there any question? No, so I can ask you a question. It's just I have two questions. The first one, in your method, you need some ground control point to synchronize the GPS with the visual and the LiDAR image?
No, we don't need any ground control points.
Okay, so you can just move and get the...
Yes.
Okay, very good. And the other question, if you have any quantitative data concerning the precision of the reconstruction. So you have some data about the resolution of the reconstruction that you can achieve?
We didn't get any ground control points to compare the point cloud, but we think we can get centimeter accuracy.
Okay.
I have a question, if you don't mind. What about the moving objects, like maybe birds, animals, human?
Yes, if you have moving objects, of course they will be represented, but this is a good question for the future work, you know. So if you have a person moving, of course, if the LiDAR detects it, will be colorizing the point cloud, and they will be in the reconstruction result. But yeah, it's one of it's possibly one of the future works.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other questions?